Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Aradhana and today I'm here with the part 4 of the great Indian novel by Dr. Shashi Tharoor, and I am going to discuss the detailed summary of part 3 and part 4 of this book today. And I have made 3 more videos on this book itself. So do not forget to check it out. A link would be in the description box, so do check that out. And now let's get on with the summary, the detailed summary of part 3rd and part 4th of this book. As I remember, I think we left it at the place when Gandhiji had successfully organized this Motihari Satyagraha, which is an allusion to the Champaran Satyagraha of the Indian history. So now we have to discuss the part 3rd of this book, which is titled The Rains Came, and this part is comparatively very short compared to other books, but the thing about this is that it kind of is a background to all the things that are going to happen in the later chapters. So it's one of the most crucial chapters or parts of book of this book. So let's start discussing one by one the main events that occur during this short phase of time. So after the great success of Gandhiji in the Champaran Satyagraha or the Motihari Satyagraha, the British officials, that is Heaslop and Sir Richard, are very furious at Gandhiji because of the kind of popularity that he is getting among the masses, among the common people. So what happens is that they set a background for the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, which has been called as the Hastinapur massacre. Okay, so the thing is that they are really furious at this point in time, and they are planning to make this annexation, which is going to result as the annexation of Bengal or the annexation of Hastinapur. Now Jallianwala Bagh is one of the most important events of Indian history, and as we all have read about this, and it is such a tragic event. And now the planning of this massacre and the annexation is going on in the background by Sir Heaslop and Sir Richard, but the thing is that it is not the center of this particular section of the book. But what the writer focuses on in this section of the book is the married life of Dhritarashtra and Pandu, and a little about Vidur as well. So and also what kind of relationship that they have with each other, which is mostly in the part 4 of the book. So the thing that happens during this phase is that Gandhari, a woman named as Gandhari, is married to Dhritarashtra, and Kunti and Madhuri are married to Pandu, as people could have a lot of wives at that point in time. So now the married life of both of these brothers is going great with their wives. They are having fun and they're enjoying each other's company. But what happens is that one day Pandu has a massive whooping heart attack. That's what the writer calls here. He also calls it a massive coronary thrombosis. I really have no idea what that is, but I guess it says that, you know, in common Hindustani, it's a whooping heart attack. Okay, so now what happens is that the doctor that comes to check Pandu after the heart attack tells him that he is not to involve in any kind of sexual activity, because that is going to put a lot of pressure again on his heart, and it's gonna be his last day. He can die of that. So now the instance of heart attack and the doctor advising Pandu not to indulge in any intercourse is a reference to Pandu having a curse upon him that he cannot indulge in any sexual activity or he will die because of some kinds of happening that happened in the Mahabharata story. So this is what has been placed here, and I guess maybe Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru did had some kind of health issue or something like that. It's because of this is the reference of this particular instance. After the doctor advises all this, Pandu just kind of ignores his wives, and he goes on with Mahatma Gandhi. He goes on with Ganga ji, that is, and he goes on to do some social work and all those kinds of things. He gets on with him in the freedom struggle, the kind of satyagrahas that going on, the Quit India movement is also there, and all those kinds of things are happening. Now though Pandu joins Mahatma Gandhi, and it keeps him busy with all those kinds of activities, all the social work and the freedom struggle events happening during the freedom struggle, but what happens is that he is yearning for a son, for the throne of Hastinapur. He wants an heir to the throne, right? So what happens is that he confides all this to Kunti, but Kunti tells him that before marriage I have a son, which is Karna, right? Kunti already had a son, so she conceals this from Pandu before marriage, but she was a mother as well. So what happens is that she tells him all those things, but he's like, no, that is not my son, that you were not with me at that point in time, so I cannot accept that son. I have to have another son, be it with another man, be it whatever, but I want a son after marriage. Okay, so These kinds of things happen. Now what happens is that Dhritarashtra and Gandhari have this girl named Duryodhani. Now this Duryodhani is Duryodhan, and it is said that she had the strong strength of 1,000 sons. Okay, so that is an allusion to the 100 sons of Gandhari in the Mahabharata. So that is it for the part 3 of this book. And now coming to the part 4 of this book. So now the part 4 of the book is called the Raj Quartet, and it is very important from the perspective of Indian history as well as from the Mahabharata story. The most important thing that happens during this section of the book is the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, okay, whose background has been, completely finished and planned in the part 3 of this book. Now this has to take place. The British officials are all set. They have bought an army, and there are so many weapons and all those kinds of things. And the rumor is going on that Gandhiji is going to address a rally in the Bibigad Gardens, okay, which is in Amritsar Gardens, right there, where the Jallianwala Bagh meeting was gonna happen. So this at this place, what happens is that they just go and fire on all those people. Even before Gangaji arrives there, he was not there, and these people has been just crowded even before he came, and they come and they fire on the people, on the children, on the women, and on men and everybody. Now there is very important paragraph which talks about this Jallianwala Bagh or the BB Garden massacre. Now this particular paragraph in the book talks about how many bullets has been fired, and what kind of things happened, and what was the the whole environment of that place. And it is such like the description of the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Okay, so I'm going to read this out. It says like, the soldiers fired just 1600 bullets that day, Ganpati. It was so mechanical, so precise. They used up only the rounds they were allocated. Nothing was thrown away, no additional supplies sent for. Just 1600 bullets into the unarmed throng. And when they had finished, perhaps 10 minutes later, 379 people lay dead, Ganpati, and 1137 lay injured, many grotesquely maimed. When Rudyard was given the figures later, he expressed satisfaction with his men and said that only 84 bullets wasted. He said, not bad. So the kind of attitude that the Britishers had for this, for doing this massacre, they were not at all guilty about it. They have no kind of regret for doing that, even after seeing all those corpses, all those people, and 1,000 people died. They jumped in well, and all those kinds of things happened. So this always gives me goosebumps. It's just so precisely written, it's so impactful, and I really do like the kind of scenario. Now what happens is that after Gandhiji come there, he is like, after all of this news reaches him, he is so very upset by all this, and he is like, I have to just do something about it. So now there is another instance about this book where it talks about how Gandhiji was so confident about his principles of non-violence, and because if they go for violence, they are not at all superior to the Britishers, right? They have a lot of weapons, they have a lot of things that the Indians simply didn't have. They cannot have all that, okay, because it was British supremacy. So how can you even have all those things? You can never have that much money, you cannot have that much weaponry, you cannot have all those kinds of things, okay, that were very limited. So what he said, that there is no point, he said candidly, in choosing a method at which your opponent is bound to be superior. Okay, they are superior in violence, okay, you cannot surpass their level. We must fight with those weapons that are stronger than theirs, the weapons of morality and truth. And that is what he preached all his life. So this is the kind of thing that has been mentioned in the book as well. Another thing that has been mentioned in the book is that an unnamed writer returned his knighthood to the Britons, and all those things. I think that is Rabindranath Tagore, because he did that, after all those things and after the annexation of Bengal. And the thing is that Vidur, who is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, he resigned from the office of ICS and he left his service to the government, and he came to Gangaji, and Gangaji was like, why did you even do that? And Dhritarashtra was with him. He's like, why did you do that? And Pandu is very different, because Subhash Chandra Bose had little faith in non-violence ways of Mahatma Gandhi. So he says that, why did you even work for those gits? It was just, idiotic, and now you have resigned, that's very good. But Gangaji and Dhritarashtra are like, you have to be very close to your enemies, as we say that, be close to your friends but closer to your enemies. So he was like, no, you have to go back, you have to get your service again, and you have to be very close to them, because if you do not if we do not know what kind of plans they have in their minds, how can we even oppose them? So we have to have somebody in the government to get all those information and all those kinds of things. So that is how they convinced Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel to get his job again. Now there is another instance in the book where the writer talks about how such a blind idealist Jawaharlal Nehru or Dhritarashtra was. He says that he had the blind man's gift of seeing the world not as it was, but as he wanted it to be. Okay, even better, he was able to convince everyone around him that his vision was superior to theirs. So that's how he says that he convinced Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel to get his job again and to be close to their enemies, and to pass the information that he gets from them to them. Now from here on, there are little differences between Pandu, that is Subhash Chandra Bose, to Dhritarashtra and Gangaji. Now both sides have a little kind of a very thin division, which is going to broaden day by day and event by event, because the kind of things that Mahatma Gandhi used to do, the kind of things that Subhash Chandra Bose used to do, they were quite different in each other. But that doesn't mean that they don't respect each other. The thing was that I think that is the most important thing that was in our leaders, and that is why we don't have such leaders right now, because they used to respect each other no matter what kind of differences were between them. So that is the thing in this chapter. Now coming to the married life of these Dhritarashtra and Pandu again. So Dhritarashtra have this girl called Duryodhani, but as Pandu does not have any child, he proposes his wife to have affair with other men to get a child, okay, after marriage. So that leads us to the three child that Kunti had, which is Yudhishthir, Bhim and Arjun. So what happens is that first of all, it says that Kunti mates with Dharma, and it is the child born of their union was Yudhishthir, which is Dharmaputra, that's what we call him. And second is that Kunti had this affair with Major Vayu, and after that we have this Bhim, who is said to have a strength of 1,000 elephants. And the third is she has an affair with Dharmendra Yogi, and after that she has a child called as Arjun, who has the intelligence of Yudhishthir and the strength of Bhim. Okay, now but what happens is that Pandu is again like I am not at all satisfied with like only 3 sons. Okay, I have to have more sons as well. Now he requests Madhuri the same thing, and she has this affair with a couple of twins whose name is Ashwin with a V and Ashwin with a W, and out of their union we get Nakul and Sahadev, which are the last Pandavas. Okay, so that's how we get this scenario of the 5 Pandavas and this one Duryodhani, who is equal to 100 sons. Okay, so this is how this whole chapter winds up, and this is how I wind up my video as well. That was it for today. This was the part 3rd and part 4 of the book. I am going to upload the part 5th and part 6 of the book very soon. Until then, don't forget to subscribe my channel, to watch my other videos, to like this video and comment down your favorite character or anything you like about this video or this book. So bye bye for now, and keep loving, keep reading.